here at the Sebring auction, loading up our latest find. LP or natural gas. Not sure on the KW. Here's the insulated side for it. A little bit of rust here and there. Looks like the control panel's on the other side over there, so we can get that off, maybe check the hours on it once we get it home, but that's the only thing we got at this one. This thing, 1983 F-150, cream colored, 4.9, bull nose, stick shift. I tried to get this one. Just didn't happen. I think it ended up going for $1,200. This one would have been a cool one to fix up though. A little weight reduction on the floor. You'd have to weld in some new floors on it, which I looked it up. They're easy to find and they're cheap to buy floors for it. Missing some dash stuff. It would have been a fixer-upper, but I like this cream color. It doesn't look completely rusted out. Like, cab corners are pretty solid. It's a cool truck. How many miles on this thing? I don't know. A lot, probably. Legendary 300 straight six. These will go forever if you don't over rev them or fail to maintain them. But man, these are cool. Not the fastest trucks on the road. One of the most reliable engines ever made. 300 straight six. Made them from 1965 till 1996. Over 30 years they made that. This one's extra wet, leaking oil everywhere, it looks like. It'd have to definitely be gone through, but this one would have been a cool one. Too bad we couldn't get it. Man, talk about a clean OBS. Wow. See new trucks with paint that's not even this nice. Wow. Dash isn't cracked. 165,000. Pretty good shape for a 20-something-year-old truck. I think this Vet sold for $2,300, $2,600, something in there. 1994. Louvered taillights. Sorry for the wind, it's windy out here. LT1, black interior, sporty car. Sold for $350. Clean paint. Interior's a little rough from the sun, but got an LS motor. This would have been a fun car to build. Make a little drag week car out of it or something. Oh, it's got a crack in the windshield, but for 350 bucks, not a bad starting point. I see a dent here. Someone got down this side, but overall, not too bad for the price. It's an International VT365, also known as a Ford 6.0 diesel. Basically the same engine. They may have different turbos, and Ford bumps up the horsepower out of theirs a little bit, but the block and internals that's exactly the same as a 6.0. But in the Internationals, the horsepower rating is not quite as high. I don't know if it says it on here. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, they only got this thing up 230 to 175 horsepower, where I think the Ford 04 definitely has more horsepower than that. It's probably why they last a little bit longer in the internationals. Garrett turbo. I don't remember what this thing went for, but probably some good parts on here for someone. Okay, got it strapped down. Give him the old flick. If you don't do that, then it's not gonna ride. Actually a 6-cylinder, a V6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it looks like a Ford. I can see it on the heads where it's stamped Ford. So a 3-liter Ford. It says right there 3 liters. I thought it didn't have a fan, but there's a shaft that goes through to the front of the radiator. So we're back out here, the generator. Got some discoveries about it. Got the other side panel off. It's actually a 6-cylinder Ford, and it's not single phase. It's a 3-phase generator. So I don't know how easy this thing is going to be to sell, but we're still going to go through and get it running, or at least try to. Got the battery out of the front of the trailer from the winch. Hopefully it's charged up. We'll give it a go and see what happens. Bring you in here so you could see this side of the panel, but if you look right there where that little dot is by the second one down, if you look over in the phase, it actually is a 3-phase 120 208 volt. So I guess you could still use this and just use 2 legs of it out of the 3 legs but you would only get 208 voltage. So I don't know that much about electricity, if that would mess up a lot of appliances. Sounds like it would, and just be easier to get a single phase one, but here you can see it's a 3-liter Ford 6-cylinder. Coolant still looks pretty clean, fresh. It's a bit rusty here on the manifold connection. The pipe's still intact. Here's some of the data here. 50 kW, 3-phase. It's all here. I'm sure it's probably not going to be too hard to get going unless it's locked up or something, but it doesn't look like it would be. Looks like it's just been sitting for a while. A 200 amp breaker. Look at that. Not bad. Propane usually burns a little cleaner, so looks good. Probably still wouldn't hurt to change it though. Who knows how old that is. I'm gonna try to get that battery installed. Alright. That's snug. Just heard a noise. I don't smell any fire. Oh, it's a lizard. He got away. But yeah, let's see if it makes any noise. All right, we got some blinking lights. Low fuel pressure. No, there's no tank hooked. So I don't even know if it'll let it turn on. All right, set exercise off. Manual. Hey, look at that. Just need some propane. I don't know if we got spark, but should. Everything looks all still hooked up. Sweet. Last time I had one of these generators, it had the connection for a barbecue grill right here, and so I got to take this pipe off and get an adapter to go here, because this feeds this regulator and up to the engine. So we got to get this loose and go to the parts store and get some sort of adapter. Got to keep the bugs from crawling in. Speaking of bugs, look at this. Where I took the battery was some sort of colony of something. Bull ants. They're all gone now, but in order to get this to that, I need an adapter. So I'll take this line in and this line for reference, and get the right adapter hopefully in the first try. Probably not. So it's the next day. We got this adapter, $5 for actually 2 adapters to bring this down to hook to that. We'll get it tightened up and give it a go. All right, we got the adapter in place. Battery's hooked up. Got the valve off. We'll open the propane. There's not a whole lot left in there. Let's see. I'm just barely gonna crack this open. I don't smell any gas leaks. Maybe this tank's empty. The low fuel pressure light went out, so that's good. Let's see. Nothing. Check that gas. I don't think we're getting any. Next thing to do is check if we got spark. I'm gonna pull one of these and try it again and see. There we go. Not bad. Get it to focus for you. Really not in bad shape. Yeah, I could see spark. It wasn't the strongest in the world. I'll bring you in here where you can get a closer look. All right, so we put the spark plug back in. We saw that it had spark. I don't know if the tank's empty. It feels pretty light, but we'll see what happens. So it doesn't seem to be getting gas. I'm gonna close this off for now and open this up and see if we can prime it or find another can, but they feel like there's a little bit in there. So I'm thinking maybe it's this valve here. It's not electrically open. It's not, the solenoid's not open. So we'll keep going. Let's just see what happens when we give it a little tickle of this. Nothing. Maybe there's something else not opening. Got it to hit a little bit. a little bit. Maybe let's turn on the gas and see if that does anything. She is definitely not getting any gas, our propane. So I popped this cover open just to peek in here. There's a fuse back there that was okay. There's one right there that was okay. It's got a voltage regulator, a lot of dielectric grease on all the connections. All looks nice and tidy in here. There's some settings here. And depending on which way you have those white levers, you can change some of the parameters. You need to research it and see which one is for propane versus natural gas, and make sure it's pushed in the right direction. But under here, everything looks to be in order. So I'm still not getting any gas up to here. I'm getting it from here to there. So somewhere right here, it's not letting it go. My guess is that this is some sort of solenoid, and it's not letting it go through. So I'm just gonna put the hose to the regulator for now, maybe. Sounds like we got a lifter or something tapping the valve train. You can kind of hear it. Really clean, very quiet, even when the side's off. I'm letting it get a little heat in it. Let it cycle a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that regulator. Just got it plumbed in straight from the tank and kind of using this regulator to drive it. So the plan is to set this big honking thing onto here. Got these metal bars welded on here to hold it, but this trailer has seen better days. I have a feeling it's just gonna collapse into the ground when we set it on there, but hopefully not. It's really not to go down the road, but just to move it around the yard. But interesting trailer. It's a steering axle, and they've got a bar bolted in and welded to hold the wheel straight. It's got shocks, leaf springs, coil springs. Very low deck height, which is kind of nice. I mean, it is way below even the top of the tire. So that'll be good. Keep the center of gravity down. Got these bars welded in. Should hold it. We'll see. But it'd be interesting once we set it on there to see what happens. See the top of this panel's got some rust holes, and this is where the exhaust is, so there's some heat generated. That's probably why this is the most rustiest panel, but my plan is just kind of brace it up with this piece of flat stock, and then before we paint it, and we just run some self tappers in there. Little buddy hopped on me. Vibrant colored. Wonder if that means he's venomous. You never know, it could be radioactive. You know what that means. We're on the opposite side of the muffler, and there's a little bit of rust here. A couple little holes. I'm just gonna take this piece of bed frame, try to wedge it in between, brace that whole top section, take up some of the space in there, make everything a little tighter. It's coming along. Sitting here cutting these notches out. This little guy lands on my neck. Cicada, I believe. It's moving in slow motion. It's springtime, so it's about time for them to start coming out again, I guess. So we got the generator mounted on the trailer, it's bolted in, and the trailer actually did really good. It's holding its weight, it pulled down the road just fine. We just set it off the other big trailer with a loader with some forks, and pulling it down the road for the first time, the hubs didn't get hot at all. It actually did really good. It didn't sway or bounce. Really surprised. It actually is a good fit for it. We got some newer tires on it. They're used, but they're a lot better than the ones that came with the trailer. Just finished shooting the bottom of it with the black paint. I'm gonna start pulling the tape off, and it'll pretty much be wrapped up at this point. Runs okay. It runs pretty good, actually. It's pretty quiet. This will be a good generator for somebody. Hurricane season's just a few months away, so this might get some use. Hopefully not, but it's about ready to go. Alright, that's a wrap. Looks good to me. Looks way better than when we got it from the auction, that's for sure. That way you know when new videos drop. And hit like. It helps YouTube direct traffic and helps me understand what you guys like. So stay tuned. Alright guys, that's it. It's all done. Looks way better. Don't forget to hit subscribe. That way you know when new videos drop. And hit like if you don't mind. And stay tuned for the next one.